Hello there everyone, it's Miriam from Pain Outside the Box, and today I wanted to get this very important message across for those of you who are just starting on their mind-body journey for chronic pain especially, but also for healing in general. So basically one of the first things I learned personally when I started my own chronic pain recovery journey is that it was time for me to take responsibility. So many clients ask me nowadays, can you help me? Can you show me? And although the answer generally is yes, I can help you, the thing is, it always starts with you deciding to help yourself. The thing is, if you've been in chronic pain for a while, it's obvious that you've gone to so many different doctors and people for a solution, and we are used to seek external help. We are used to seek passive help. We think that they're going to give us something or do something to us and to our bodies that's going to make us feel better. So for a lot of people, the concept of active recovery, the concept of actually taking responsibility for your own recovery is a bit foreign. It's not something that we are taught. It's something that eventually some people are ready to do after they've exhausted all other options. So how do you take responsibility for chronic pain? So one of the first things that you would need to do is to stop blaming external factors for causing your pain. Now, I know that this is difficult because you're used to blaming, maybe you're blaming a past injury, maybe you're blaming a treatment that didn't go well or a surgery that didn't go well. Maybe you're blaming your own stressors for causing you pain, okay, your own past. Maybe you're blaming your own traumas. So these are all examples of you blaming your pain on external factors. The thing is, although external factors may have caused you pain in the first place or may have contributed to your chronic pain, it is time to let them go, in the sense that you should stop telling yourself or other people how these external factors have made things worse for you or have ruined your life and whatever. Even though a part of you might be right. But just by saying all of this, just by putting the blame on external factors, you are taking away your power. And this is actually what the mind-body journey involves. You have to reclaim back your power. So you have to look at those areas which you can actually influence. And for example, the brain and the way you think is actually an area that you can change and influence. Okay? So you have to look at these areas that you can actually influence in your life and let go of things that you have been blaming your pain on. And actually, this is the most difficult thing because we latch on to the past, we latch on to negative memories, okay? So if you had a negative memory with a past injury, with a treatment that didn't go well, okay? Even maybe with an activity that caused you pain. I mean, we tend to recall these instances, these events, and blame them for causing us pain, which might have been true at the time. But the thing is, now you have to anchor yourself in the present, okay, and let go of the blame game. I like to call it the blame game. And this will also help you let go of what I call the victim mentality, which is the most detrimental mental state that you can be in when you're in chronic pain, and which is actually the mental state that keeps most people stuck in chronic pain, is to view yourself as a victim to circumstance, to your pain, to past traumas, whatever. It is true you might have been a victim. But the thing is, now, from now on, you're working on changing this, and you're working on taking back your power. So you cannot remain in that victim state and expect to see results. Okay? And of course, the other aspect of taking responsibility is actually to decide on a course of action for you. And as we all know, it takes time for us to build new habits. And if it's about brain retraining, okay, and TMS work, it takes time for the brain to actually change and for us to adopt new ways of thinking and new habits. So you have to commit to something, right? So even if it's just committing to reading an entire TMS book, okay, committing to a program, committing to getting external help, therapy, or coaching, okay, this is another aspect that you have to take responsibility on, because it's for your own good. So any kind of consistency is good. Even if you tell me that you can't afford to pay for external help, there are cheaper options, okay? There are books that if you really read them thoroughly and take the time to reflect on how they apply to your situation, some people might get there on their own. Some people might need extra help, and it's up to you to decide. Some people might actually also need psychotherapy once they realize how certain issues in their life have affected them and their pain levels. So at the end of the day, it takes your own initiative, okay, to see what you actually require, to experiment sometimes, because sometimes we don't know exactly which tool or which technique is going to work best for us. And it takes initiative to actually try all of these things and to commit for a long enough period so that you can actually give yourself time to see some sort of result. Because if you just commit for 2 days or 3 days and then give up because you have a flare-up and you think, oh, this is not working, well, that is not commitment. That is taking your power away. That's giving up, and that's stepping back into the victim mentality. Okay. So basically, this is it. This is what I wanted to get across. And just to get you a little bit more in the picture, we live in a culture of blame, okay? It's not just when it comes to our health and to chronic pain, but we as egoistic individuals, we like to put the blame for our misfortunes, for certain circumstances on outside factor, because it feels good to the ego to know that you have no fault whatsoever. Okay? So you can see this in the suing culture that's on the rise, okay? So people sue other people, other businesses for having, for example, slipped in a specific place or in a specific supermarket, okay, when in reality, at the same time, they weren't careful, they weren't watching where they were stepping, okay? This is just an example. I'm not saying that all cases of suing are wrong. I'm saying that in some cases, we also have responsibility, we also play a part, and we can't just blame external factors for causing our misfortunes if we ourselves were lacking in some way, okay, were careless or whatever. But it feels good to blame others. It feels good to get justice, even though that means that you are totally shying away from your own responsibilities. And although this might work when you have an accident due to someone else's fault, even though you also had a part, it doesn't work when it comes to chronic pain, because if you keep blaming the pain on external factors, you will not see any results, because chronic pain healing, when the pain is due to mind-body syndrome, TMS, it's all due to the way that the brain is processing pain signals. It's all due to other emotional factors that may have been repressed and that you may have to uncover, or at least get aware of certain situations, okay? Sometimes the pain is there to get us out of a specific situation, okay, or to serve some sort of purpose. And I'll be talking about this more in another video. So it's up to you to uncover why the pain is there, why it has persisted, and how you are contributing to its persistence through your behaviors, through your thoughts, through your expectations, okay, and through your general mental state. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, and it's really the basis of any start to recovery. So that's it. If you resonate, I wish you all the best on your healing journey, and I hope that this video will give you some extra motivation to commit. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.